Alright, good morning YouTube world. The news of the new Sony RX100 Mark VI is breaking ground right now, and there are a ton of YouTube creators out here right now testing them. I'm not one of those fortunate creators who get flown to Venice to actually test out these cameras, but I am watching some videos right now to get a better idea of what to expect out of the camera. This is Kai from Digital Rev, and he's testing out the camera. I've been taking some notes here and trying to learn what I can about the camera so I could share it with you. And if you're interested in the Sony RX100 Mark VI from an outsider's point of view, as a person who is on a budget and actually shooting with the G7X Mark II, then keep watching this video. We're going to take it into the office and I'm going to discuss what are the differences between the RX100 Mark V and Mark VI. Are they worth it? Should you get the Canon G7X Mark II or other point and shoots that are comparable? And I'm just going to go over what I found out about the RX100 Mark VI. So let's go. Alright, let's talk about the Sony RX100 Mark VI. That's why you stumbled across this video. So I'm going to break out my trusty dusty list here. I've been taking some notes on the benefits and the negatives of this camera when comparing it to the Sony RX100 Mark V and the Canon G7X Mark II, which is what I'm shooting on currently. So a little bit of information on how I achieved this list. I watched several YouTube creators review the RX100 Mark VI because they were offered a loaner camera to test out while Sony was fixing the bugs in the camera and planning the actual release to the public. I've also searched many articles online regarding the RX100 Mark VI from Sony's website, blog posts, and other sources that I found on Google. Let's get into the list and I'll let you determine whether or not this camera seems like a worthy upgrade to your camera arsenal. Now, some of them are positives and some of them are negatives depending on who you are and where you stand in the camera world. Number one on the list is the fact that they took away the wide aperture of 1.8 and replaced it with a 2.8 max aperture.
Now you've only got f2.8 at its widest. That is one thing that I don't quite like.
Which is actually helping out the zoom range, which they also changed. The zoom range is now 24 to 200 millimeters, which is great if you're looking for a longer lens and you don't want to buy a camera body and a lens kit, because with this camera you have all of it all in one, which I think is a benefit and a negative all in one depending on who you are as a shooter. The price is still very high for an entry-level photographer or videographer. I don't know if spending $1,200 on a point and shoot is the best way to spend your money as an entry-level photographer or videographer, and I don't think that they need to be that expensive when comparing them to the Canon G7X Mark II. You can find the G7X for around $300 to $400, and it's going to offer much of the same features that you're going to be using the Sony RX100 Mark VI to shoot. And that's why I don't really think that having a price at $1,200 is really necessary. That's outlandish. And the RX100 Mark V is only down to about $950. So don't expect a huge price difference in the older line of Sony cameras. So the price is a negative in my opinion. The autofocus is an improvement from the Mark V, which is a benefit.
And it also has the world's fastest AF, apparently. That's what they said about the last one.
Although it isn't going to offer anything much more than what was packed in the Sony RX100 Mark V. Don't expect any crazy jumps and improvements with the autofocusing system. The overheating issue is kind of an issue, but not really unless you're shooting 4K.
Because it's too hot. It's stopped filming, so I might as well stop filming for now.
So keep the 4K shooting at a minimum and you won't have any issues with overheating. I don't think that the 1080p is going to overheat at all unless you're out in the Sahara Desert. And last but not least, the only benefit I could see without having a negative along with it is the 90-degree rotation in the screen. So it offers you a different angle to shoot from and makes it easier for you to shoot over the top of a subject without having to peek over and maybe cast a shadow on your subject. So that was the list, and I think that they are very important topics to cover whenever we're speaking on behalf of the Sony RX100 Mark VI. They might be negatives to you or to me, but some of them might also be positives in your opinion, so just take them with a grain of salt. It just depends on where you stand in your camera capabilities and what you're trying to do with the camera. I don't think that this is a great starter kit for somebody trying to make a YouTube channel or anything like that. There are several different options that allow you to capture the same quality video for a fraction of the cost, and this camera, although it does pack a lot of capabilities and functions, it's not going to offer you anything out of the ordinary when comparing it to a point and shoot like the Canon G7X Mark II. I hope these topics helped you out, and I know that there's going to be a lot of videos pertaining to the Sony RX100 Mark VI, but if this video did help you out and you think that this is a level review of the Sony RX100 Mark VI, please share it with your friends or anyone you think that is going to purchase a Sony RX100 Mark VI. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos like this. Please click that thumbs up button if it did help you out, and subscribe to the channel if you want to watch adventures, tech reviews, and all sorts of fun outdoor activities. I'll see you on tomorrow's adventure. Get out there and create your own however you can today, and spread some positivity in your life and others around you. I'll see you tomorrow.